Hello everyone, Corn here and welcome to my channel. First off, I apologize. I'm working. I'm trying to work on my craft room, saying goodbye to things that I have never used, and I think it's silly to keep holding on to them. But this might happen because it's happened to me before. Has it happened to you guys? Like if you've had something literally for 5 years and you go, I haven't used it in 5 years. I'm not going to use it, so I'm going to donate it. And then your next project you need it. That's happened to me once. Or maybe it was more than once, but once that I can recall. And y'all are so sweet about some of my subbies are like, well, just let us hear from you now. I'm not drinking any tea. This isn't Tuesday. But I didn't prepare anything because, like I said, I've been working on the craft room. But I thought maybe we could come in and sit together in the next day or so. Handsome and I, it's a very small haul, but I did find something kind of exciting at Dollar Tree. I thought it was exciting. You all might say, Corn, that is boring. But I thought I'd share that. But let me sit down because you know how good it feels when you're running around trying to get your room organized. And I'll tell y'all something. I was putting things into little places. I thought I was organized. Y'all, most of y'all have been on my, the little tour I did on my craft room. Remember, it's tiny. I always thought of this room as the nursery. I think it would be a perfect nursery. It's very small, and not only do I have some things in here, but I also have a closet across the foyer or hallway. And I'm trying to get to the point where, because, for years it was paper crafting and a little bit of sewing. Because, as a lot of y'all know, I make the fabric flowers for paper crafting. And with all the gnomes that I've been doing recently, I tell you, some of these things I really don't think I'm going to use ever. And I could be wrong. Some of them I got fully, and I had full intentions of, I even had a project in mind, but then something else came up, and you all know how that goes, and it's like, oh, okay. And I just thought of something. I have the wrong glasses on to get any work done. One thing I do, let me see, that's over here. I think y'all might have seen these before. Now this I am not going to move. Have you all ever been reorganizing and stuff in your craft room, and you've moved things and then you're like, uh-oh, where did I put it? That's happened to me before. What I'm trying to do, y'all, I'm trying to get organized to the point where this section is paper crafting, this section is paper crafting, and this section is sewing, this section is fabrics, because I found myself going, when I'd go to Hobby Lobby, I would get, I'd go to their remnants, and they had quite a few off and on, this winter, of the fleece, quite a few of those remnants, so I'd grab them. I also grabbed some other fabrics and hoping that I could make some gnomes with them. So I'm thinking across the hallway as much as I can, It's not going to be all, but as much as I can, I'd like to have the fabrics in there. Back in the day when I used to sew a lot. I have an old trunk that we got when we were in Deutschland, in Germany. And that baby's been through quite a few moves, and I used to keep it all in there. And then again, I was like, okay, I got this fabric for a great deal. And it was mostly home decor fabric, because I used to make my own curtains. I used to make my own valances, sometimes double, triple valances, you know, the whole thing. And I was like, why are you holding on to this? I get to that point where I'm like, stop doing this, because somebody, you could donate this and somebody could just be so creative with it and do everything that they want with it. So stop. So I used to be this little place in the city that they sold remnants of home decor fabric that I could get, especially shabby chic, because I've had them for years and years. Just gorgeous, gorgeous pieces, and for not a whole lot of money. I've saved some because I'm hoping one day I'll do something with them. But I got to the point where I was like, do you ever do this when you keep doing something and keep doing something? You move into a new place and you're like, okay, I'm going to make these curtains, I'm going to do these balances, I'm going to do this, that, and the other. And then you get to the point where you're like, I don't want to see my sewing machine for a while. I do that. I did that, as you know, with my paper crafting for a while. I think some of my paper crafting subbies are like, Corn, what's wrong with you? I did do, recently, I did some paper crafting. Well, let's put it this way. I helped some friends of mine out with paper crafting. I'm going to post a video soon. I was helping out two of my friends that are of the male persuasion, and that took some time. And I'll post that video soon. But anywho, so let me ask you all this. When you look around and you realize, holy moly, I need to reorganize. And do you ever just, you're like a house on fire at first. You're just like, oh my goodness. And you just go and you go and you go and you get up early in the morning and do it. And you stay up late at night and do it. And you just keep on and on and on. And by day 3, you're like, oh. Because it, like I said, with my crafting, you know, I'm a slow crafter. I'm also a slow organizer because, remember, I'm very, very soon, I'm going to be 67, and I would love to tell you that your memory, when you get older, with some people, their memory stays perfect. I'm not one of those people. Because like I said, I'll be like, I didn't label that. Why didn't I label that? Why didn't I take the time? But you know, you're just going, and you're like, why didn't I take that time to just sit down at my desk, grab a tag, write what's in it, and then put it on the front of it, you know? It's like, what? And I didn't do it the last time I reorganized, and I didn't do it this time either. And I'm like, okay, you're going to get super frustrated because you know that item's here and you don't know where you put it. Anyway, this is day 4 for me, and no, it's day 3. And I'm like, I'm not over it, but I'm like, okay, this isn't as fun as it was at first. But what I do when it comes to things like this, I had gotten some of the olive green leaves like this trim, off of Amazon. It was either a year ago or close to it. And when it came, it was kind of bunched up, so the little leaves aren't perfect like this. See how perfect they are? They are absolutely perfect. Don't have to iron them or nothing, you know, or struggle with them when you're trying to glue them to something. Well, you all know I love using these. This is my favorite green in the world, and I can't find this anymore. They used to have it at Hobby Lobby, but I can't, not at mine. So I'm kind of hoarding these. I have even more of this trim with the pink leaves, which I use quite often. This trim was gifted to me by Tina Kazarian many years ago, maybe even 4 or 5 years ago. And so was this, that it's an iridescent silver. And then, look what I have left in that. That's it. Evidently, especially when I work with gray, I do a lot of silver. Excuse me. And there we go. That's all I got left with that. And then in with all my leaves, I do have these little flags. That was on a trim that was gifted to me many years ago, also by Norma Lisa, the Misfit Florida Crafter. And I kept looking at, I have it in a cute little box behind me, but I kept looking at the one that I got off of Amazon, and I was like, it's just not pretty. It really was. It's okay, but I don't think it's pretty. Well, Hobby Lobby, what was it? A couple of weeks ago, I reckon? A week, 2 weeks ago? Something like that. Had their floral ribbons half price. And I thought, I was just looking at ribbon, and then I found this. And I was like, hello. And these, it's 1 inch by 18 feet. So I was like, oh, okay, so I get that for $1.99. Yeah. So I put that in the basket real quick. And what I do is normally, since I'm up here, I don't have anything to watch while I'm up here, which I don't normally watch anything in the craft room anyway, but I usually put on some music, and Handsome makes sure that I have, you know, a nice speaker. And so I usually just sit here and listen to some good music and do this for a long time, and then put them in these little bags like this. But I usually just sit here. You know, yeah, I know, isn't this exciting? Please put in the comments if you guys do the same thing. Just sit here and cutting off leaves, because yes, a lot of people use it as, you know, just like it is. But with me, as you know, I put a lot of flowers on everything I do, actually, even the gnomes. And, you know, then I gather them all together and put them in those bags so that it just saves me time, you know. And when they start to get low, if I still have some trim available, then I just do the same thing. Put on some good music. Good music to me. I know that's everybody has their different opinion on what good music is, and that just goes bye-bye. You know, I don't need that. I have used it before, though. If I've trimmed it off really pretty, I have used it before on a card. A little line between papers, and that's kind of fun. But yeah, what I'm doing is like, I have a little container that's nothing but bows. And I had gotten these lace bows with the little pearl, flatback pearls in the middle of them. I had gotten these a few years back. And I was hoarding them. And they were, I think, in the wedding section. And they had a thin white ribbon behind them. And I didn't... The reason I got them is I thought if I make a gift bag and I want to tie it at the top, I would tie it with that little ribbon. And I might have done it in the past. Oh, I got, I think, 2 packages of them. And they were in the wedding section of Hobby Lobby, if I didn't already say that. Can you tell I'm tired? I didn't sleep very well well, no, I don't usually, to be real honest. But then when Handsome gets up, we say good morning, and then he's the one that's downstairs and getting ready for work and stuff, and then I'm up here trying to get some sleep. And anywho, so I thought, oh my goodness, wouldn't these be precious on my gnome braids? So that's what I'm going to do with these. So, and what I do, I think if you visited me before, I'll go ahead and put the yarn around them. and tie it real tight, and then just hot glue these instead of using that ribbon behind there. Just hot glue these on the front. And so I have a little basket, or not basket, as a container that I go ahead and put all my bows in, so that, because normally I make my own, but I thought this will save me time. It will. So found those, doing stuff like that too, prepping things, getting things ready so that I don't, have to spend a lot of time. I can, because like I said, it takes me a long time anyway. So I also found, do you guys remember this when I did a live with Hanson some time ago? We put these together, our little ephemeras. Handsome even did one, bless his heart, where we got out our inks and we got out our dyed seam binding and trim and appliques and fabric and everything. So, but these were placed elsewhere, and I just wanted them to be neat, and because I thought when I looked back at the ones I did on them that are vintage looking, and actually shabby chic also, which are my two things, wouldn't they make nice stationery? Let me know what y'all think. I think they'd be a nice little set of stationery. So I thought, well, put them in this. So I've got those organized as best I can. What I do is when I finish a project and I don't want to throw anything away. Well, that's not pretty. I don't want to throw anything away, so I usually put things in a container like this, and then I just put it in the closet, like I said, across the hall, and I'm like, eh. And then I'm like, oh, I forget about it, until, again, I'm organized, and then I'm like, oh, man, I forgot all about those. But one thing I did, too, I had gotten these containers here from Dollar Tree when, this was what, over 2 years ago. It was before the pandemic. And remember when Dollar Tree would have these, and then they got so popular because everybody was doing the embellishment boxes with them. And because, again, you can put all this wonderful washi right in the middle. That's what's so fun there. And then you can decorate the front and the back, which I did quite a few times, actually. And I was concerned about them not carrying them anymore. So what I would do is each time I'd go, I'd get like 2 or 3 of them. And then I ended up putting them in this large, extra large bag from Dollar Tree, Ziploc. And just every once in a while, when I'd have a giveaway or what have you, or wanted to do a little something for somebody, I'd decorate it up and then fill it up. Sometimes I would make everything inside. Well, with all this reorganizing and donations and stuff, I was like, wait a minute. Maybe I can make up, not decorate, so that the person can see exactly what's in the back, in the whole thing, and make them up myself. And I don't know about y'all, but I would like seeing something like this in a thrift store, personally, because you've got buttons, you've got tags, you've got larger, you can't see them, they were supposed to be up here, but they moved back there. You've got larger paper clips, you've got bling, you've got all this washi. These have never been used. I just, that's, again, I was like, why? Why are you holding on when somebody else could be using them? So we've got the rings, we've got some coated like hearts, which I thought would be nice now for somebody with Valentine's, even though I think that's all year long. We've got ampersand, all this other stuff here with paper clips, and then we've got the rose gold ones here, and they're kind of coated too. And I thought, why don't I break up some of the stuff that I'm donating and put it in one of these. Then I thought, okay, would it be tempting to open it and fiddle around to see? Because you can see everything, though. So I thought, just in case, I'm going to put this. I think I might have showed you all this before. I got this at Michael's years ago. And it's huge. I've been using it for my gnomes, actually, to tie, if I'm using a rubber band, I tie it again with the twine. So I thought, well, I've got so much of it. And I've made several of these, and then I just tie this around and tie it in a knot, and then adhere it to the bottom, And I don't know, I'd like to see this in the thrift store. And I was also thinking of Clarissa, who is Catamia's Corner here on YouTube. She's adorable. I recommend you all visit her. I love her thrift hauls. Absolutely love them. And recently she did one where, oh my goodness, she found some fantastic dyes. I mean, really nice. And she's having a giveaway soon, and y'all might want to go over and visit her, not just for the giveaway, because she's a good teacher, she's a lovely person, and I really highly recommend her. So, and I thought to myself when I was doing this, I thought, I bet Katamia would give this a second look, if she saw it in the thrift store. I would. I personally would. I got it in got everything in the first place. I just haven't used it, And when it comes to birthdays and stuff, I usually, if I'm making a birthday card for the family and stuff, it's usually not this. It's their colors, their whatever interests them, be it rainbows, be it pugs, be it, you know what I mean? It's the color green and the Hulk and this kind of thing. It's I do them just for them, so I'm not sure why I got that, but because it's a birthday theme. But okay. I mean, I always know why I get the pink ones and stuff, because that's my color. But I thought it was a little bit fun to match some of the buttons with the washi. But that's what I'm doing, stuff like this. Then doing these guys, like I said, these will always stay. I'm not moving these guys because I use them so much. I'm like, these need to be right where I want them. You know what I mean? So these I can get my hands on at any time. And then I'll just sit down here and take the rest of these off, put them in a little teeny tiny bag like this that I got at Walmart a few years back. And, then they'll be all nice and ready for spring. I also think that the olive green looks good with vintage too, I think. So, anywho, I thought I would just come on and say hey, and that wasn't just saying hey, was it? I just talked and talked. But I want to thank you all for joining me today, and I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening. Bye-bye, everybody. Take good care.